Good morning, everyone. Yes, we have come a very long way in the growth story of our country, but there are some aspects where we are lagging behind, and one such aspect is about women and women independence or freedom of women or how we look at women in the first place. So I am reminded of this quote by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, which is one of my favorite one, and he once said that freedom of mind is the real freedom. A person whose mind is not free, though he may not be in chains, is a slave, not a free man. One whose mind is not free, though he may not be in prison, is a prisoner and not a free man. One whose mind is not free, though alive, is no better than dead. Freedom of mind is the proof of one's existence. And I feel these words are absolutely true because often our mind is where we are caged, and our thoughts actually speak about how free we are. So this morning we have Sister Joanna with us. I fondly call her as Chechi, and it was my privilege to have studied in the same college. We did. I when I was doing my UG, Chechi was doing her post graduation, and since then it has been a wonderful bond between us, and she is a wonderful encouragement. Her testimony is a wonderful encouragement, and she is a influencer in her area of expertise. And she is a music teacher in St. Anne's, Kompally, and she will be talking to us on aspects of beauty and body shaming. We welcome you to this forum, Chechi.
Thank you, Besant, for giving me this opportunity. It's indeed a great privilege to be able to share my views about beauty and body shaming, and something that I have been experiencing mostly during my childhood and teenage days.
Thank you, Jaji. We live in an age where, though we say we are progressive, often we find women being looked at a very low light, and that is a true fact. Even in cities, even in educated families, we find that notion. Uh, and I have known you for some time, and your testimony is very inspiring. How would you define yourself?
Okay, so I am basically an extroverted person, warm, jovial, and hardworking. And one thing that really stands out in me is that I always tell people I am fearfully and wonderfully made in His image, and that's how I describe about myself.
Take us through your personal journey and your story, how you overcame odds in your life.
Okay, so it all began like when I was 6 years old, was when I realized that I was different, and then I had hearing loss issues. I used to fail in subjects, and the name calling, teasing, laughing, and stares, and all that used to happen. So it took me about 9 years to actually accept myself, because when I was 15 years old, that's when God strongly spoke to me from the chapter Psalms 139 verse 14, where he says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made in his image. So that's when I realized that God is not bothered about my physical appearance, because I know he has created me differently, but he is more focused on my heart and how I treat people, and how I am able to respond to all these people's comments. So I have gone through a lot, mostly during my childhood and teenage days. Thankfully, now I still go through, like, people call me by different names, people stare at me. But because of what God has done for me when I was 15 years old, I am now, being able to look at them with a smile or just say nothing. And, so people, generally what people do is, they want to get back, or they get angry, or they try to shout at them, like, why are you calling me like this? And they probably say, do you think you are so fair, or do you think you're so tall, right? But I feel that is not the right thing to do. So that is how my life has been all this while. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually like that quote, what you said, that God does not look at our outer appearance. And
Yes.
that is a very important aspect which youngsters or those people who feel inferior among themselves have to always remember.
True.
Because often youngsters go through a very hard time, and because they don't have anyone to speak or share their problems with, they often end up committing suicide or
Oh
end up
yes.
in depression.
Yes. Yes.
So this thing that God does not look at our outer appearance is a very important aspect, I feel.
Yes. Very much.
How difficult is it to build a positive self image?
So let me just begin with what is exactly self-image. So self-image is the mental picture that you have of yourself. So self-image can be either positive or negative. And most of the times, especially girls, they have a negative self-image. It's like they are not so tall, they are not so fair, or they are not so thin, and they get a picture of themselves that because of the criticisms of others.
Hmm.
So that's how they get an image. And for me, like I said, it was when I was 6 years old, I realized I was different. And then about it went on till 15, to the age of 15, that I somehow just carried on and moved on, and didn't really focus on all these comments. Of course it did hurt me, but I tried not to let those comments affect me. So when I was so it all happened like when I was in a camp. There was a seminar which is titled that you are beautiful, and I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was like, okay, this is not for me, because I know I'm not beautiful in the eyes of the society, in the eyes of the world. People think that only if you're tall, fair, and thin is when you're beautiful. So I knew that I do not fit those qualities, and so I
Hmm.
didn't want to attend it. But something just moved me and pushed me to attend that camp. And that's when God changed me, like, completely 360
Hmm.
degrees. And then there was this thing that came to my mind, that if anybody makes fun of me, it's not as a person, but they're making fun of the creator. So
Hmm.
I should not let those comments affect me. Yeah, so it took like about, if I have to say, 15 years of my life to actually build a positive self image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, your testimony, whenever I listen to it, I feel so encouraged because having been working with youngsters of late, there are a lot of youngsters who are very inferior in their thought process.
Yes.
Or, as you said, it is because of the comments of other people that they are forced to think that they are not good or they are not beautiful. And it is very important that we have that positive thinking in our lives.
Very much
Uh,
true.
so, uh, what does it take to accept yourself as you are, and what is the role of your family and siblings in your life?
Yeah, so I know that there are families who sometimes try to make fun of their own children, or relatives, and there is name calling too. But thankfully, my family never treated me like that. They treated me as a normal child, and they did not equate my physical appearance with my potential. So honestly speaking, when I was maybe in my third or fourth class, like that, people, children who were younger than me would come and tell me, oh, you don't look like a third or fourth class child, you look like a 1 year old. Why don't you study that class again? Or people would say, why don't you drink complan to grow tall for your age? So when you're in third or fourth class, you're somewhere around 8 or 9 years, but I looked like a 4 or 5 year old child. So my family did not treat me like that, treated me as per my age. And like now also, I mean, even though I'm an adult, still some children or some teenagers, they look at me and they think that, okay, I'm still a small child. But it's my family's support, their encouragement, that has brought me this far. And that's how, to add to the previous question, that's how that I was able to build my self image.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so my family was like the pillar.
Oh, That is great to hear. There are people often who, as you said, they come and mock you, or they ask you to, why don't you study in that same class again, or uh, they often call names and all.
Yes.
So how do you overcome such a situation in your life?
So if I have to give you examples, like sometimes when children, like when I'm walking the neighborhood or anywhere, like they would be so curious and they'll come close to me or say something. So generally, I just try to pretend that I'm not hearing. I mean, not like acting that I'm, trying not to hear, but I try to ignore it. But when they come close, they first ask me, "Why are you so short?" Like in Telugu, they say, "నువ్వు ఎందుకు ఇంత పొట్టిగున్నావు?" Right?
Hmm.
So, and I am not a fluent Telugu speaking person, so I just tell that God made me different. So what I try to make sure is I make sure that the comments do not affect me. And even when I say I make sure, I know it's with God's help. It is not my own efforts. So God is helping me to make sure that these comments do not affect me. And I know that I am not in control of how people look at my physical stature. God has made me different, so it is not my fault. I mean, if I
Yes.
would say that, if I'm not, it's not my fault that I have been born this way. I may not see, even now also I still may not understand completely as to why God made me short, but I know that there is a purpose behind this creation, creation of God. And so the only thing is I make sure is that people's mockings, jeering, stares, and laughs, they do not affect me, because sometimes what happens is when you are affected, the people try to take advantage of you. They try to
Hmm.
take more advantage of you. So like some people even say, "Oh, I was just joking. Why did you take it seriously? Don't feel bad and all that." And then the person who is being offended, he tries to become strong or angry and say, "No, no, 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 no. You have always been doing like this, and you've always been speaking like this. And at the end of the day, you tell I was just joking." And so yeah, so whatever it is, I make sure that I do not respond to them in negative way. Just trying to be calm, composed,
Hmm.
and that's how I try to make sure that you know I am strong. I
Yeah.
I do not I do not let those comments affect me. So
Oh.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing.
I I actually very firmly believe that our way of approaching when people actually try to put us down actually defines our worth.
Yes,
The world today actually speaks about fighting back or giving on the same tune, but then Word of God actually doesn't speak that way,
true. Yeah,
and it is very important for us as youngsters to imbibe that behavioral pattern in
yes,
all of us. And body shaming actually is not confined to women alone.
true.
It is a general thing, but then uh, women actually are looked at their beauty also.
Yo,
Boys are actually body shamed if they are fat, and often not about their color, unless they are very dark
the
from other
darker side.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but women, even if they are fair, their facial pattern or everything is being scanned,
Noticed
like,
and yeah,
yeah.
noticed and being
So,
commented upon. Yeah.
yeah. So, do you think women have a more challenging time dealing with body shaming?
Yeah, like you just mentioned that both girls and boys have issues with body image, but I think it's the girls who have a tougher time dealing with body shaming. Like for example, every teenager for that matter would think about Shilpa Shetty. I mean, because she has a size zero body, or people would want to go for liposuction, removing the excess fat, or
Yeah.
plastic surgery, to get that perfect shape of the nose or the lips, or whatever features on the face, and especially to have a no blemish
Hmm.
skin. Yeah. So I think it's the women who deal more with this. I am not sure about men though, so I wouldn't want to comment about men. But yeah, that's how I've seen about women. And if you see, I have all those things. Like I have full pimples on my face, and my nose is round, and I have enough fat, and what else? Yeah, so uh, I thought during my teenage days that probably if I undergo some surgery or something like that, maybe I can be taller, I can be thinner, and do something for my face so that I become fairer, you know. So yeah, so if a person like me could think of all these things, I'm sure the people out there also would think about how they can beautify themselves.
Yes.
And I think it all comes down to the fact that maybe because they were body shamed, that's when they think that they'll have to do something about their body. And the sad part is people think that their worth is in their physical appearance.
True.
People do not understand that it is much more than that. It is
Hmm.
so their worth is actually in their character, their attitude, how they carry themselves.
Yes.
It's not, people are not going to remember you for how you look. People are going to remember of how you responded, how you treated people.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
True.
think that women do have a problem with the body shaming, and it's only about how much focus they put on their physical appearance and how much focus they put on their character and attitude. That's what matters.
Yeah. Often when we are young or when we are small, like
Yeah.
in school, we speak out of innocence, and often often our the words of our friends actually pain us. But then, when we after some time when we look back and see, we sometimes can forgive them because they spoke various things because of their innocence. Often.
Innocent. Hmm.
But have you faced this body shaming situations in your workplace, or how was the situation when you got into your college, or when you got into your work environment?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned about friends, out of innocence, calling you by names. And I had a few friends like that. I mean, they would think, Joe, because, like I said, I'm extroverted, jovial, and all that. People would think that if you tell Joe anything, okay, so by the way, mostly known as Joe than
Yeah,
Joanna.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
just putting myself there. So people would think that, okay, if you tell Joe anything, she won't feel bad. Okay, it's okay if we tell her this, if it's okay if we tell her that. And I've had friends who will tell, hey, you can be like a good pillar, so they can rest their hand on me, on my shoulders. Or probably, if I need to get anything from like below the bench or table or anything like that, they say, hey, you can ask Joe because she can go and reach that place. So
Oh,
somewhere it is, it is like yeah, it doesn't sound like cruel or anything like that. But if you see, the underlying message is that, okay, because she is short, she can do all these things. So
yeah.
let us take advantage of that fact, and let
Hmm.
us ask her to do all those things. And sometimes people would actually take some of my things and try to hold it up, and then they ask me to jump to see how high I can jump, to check
Oh,
my height. So people have done some things, and I did and I try to used to ignore it. But once it started becoming very frequent, that's when it started affecting me. And I am generally a soft spoken person. So I never used to find it really courageous enough to go and tell them that please stop doing all this, please stop calling me
hmm.
like this. And like in here Telugu it means potti. So even even now also sometimes I get to hear, hey, that potti girl, or potti Joe, or something like that. So
Oh,
I used to like find it hard. And right now I'm a music teacher in a private school. And initially the kindergarten kids, LKG and UKG kids, when they would see me, they was like, hey, potty teacher, and all. The thing is, God has given me the grace and strength to understand. like how to take this comment. So when I saw this kids, when I heard these kids calling me, it didn't bother me,
Hmm.
because I know that they are innocent,
Yeah.
and in their eyes they know that there is a tall person in a short body.
Mm.
They could
Yeah.
understand. I mean, they understand that much. So
Mm.
what I would do is I would just look at them and smile. And then sometimes innocently they would come and ask me, Chichi, sorry, teacher, why are you so short? And then I say, God made me different. So that's the only answer I can give. And then I say,
Mm.
see, are everybody same? No. They themselves say no. And then I
Yeah.
said, yeah, so that's how God made me different. Some might grow tall, some might be short, some are different shades of color, but
Yeah.
God chose me to be one of that person. So right now in the place that I'm teaching, initially few students, apart from kindergarten students, even like the primary or high school children, they used to like, hey, that potty teacher, or I used to hear it very well.
Mm.
But once I shared my testimony in school, that's when some of these kids came and told me, sorry, ma'am, for, initially we used to talk about you like this, but after hearing your story, we are very sorry for whatever you told about you. And now, they accept me as a normal teacher. I mean, it's only
Yeah.
that the teacher is short. That's it. So
Ah.
that's how I am, like, with God's grace, able to handle all these comments. And yeah.
I was just thinking that this actually has to be taught in our schools.
Oh, yes.
We often don't address such situations, and that is what makes people, when they get to an age where they can work and all, they are not, they don't know how to respond to people that are different from them, and
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
that somehow points at their schooling and their family upbringing and all. It is the duty of schools and our teachers to teach children to be empathetic, and
Yes.
that is very important,
Yeah.
because even uh, uh, there are people who get depressed in school age, but then we find more people getting depressed in their teenage and
Teenagers.
adulthood.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So it is more important to teach them in school, so that when such situations come, they will be able to act in a mature way
Yeah.
and respond in a jovial manner.
Yeah. Like if I would add this, I would think more than schools is to start with the family.
True, true.
So, the parents should take the initiative that,
Mm.
to teach the children that not all children are born the same way. The thing is, if children are taught at a young age, then once they become teenagers, they become more conscious and they become more aware of what they're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, like, okay, so society, neighborhood, public places, or anywhere, when children see me, they go and tell their mom and dad, say, "Mummy, chudu, there's one such short girl or something like that, potty girl or whatever." Okay,
Mm.
and then sometimes it so happens that the mother calls the other whole family, the whole khandan, see, there's one small girl coming, and
Mm.
everybody have to look and stare at me or laugh or do whatever. So that actually kept me thinking as to if the fact that if parents themselves are not educated enough, or if parents do not take a stand, then how will the children learn? So
True.
suppose if and then there's the other extreme side. So if children see me and then they try to laugh or stare, and then the parents will, shh, no, don't tell like that. He's different. No, 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 no. All that goes into that kind of a extreme mode. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not supposed
sure.
to tell like that. Okay, so then there also then the child will be like wondering what happened. Like,
Mm.
is it some kind of curse? That um
Yeah.
this different person is born like that. Then they'll be
Mm.
like, oh no, I should not talk about this person like that. So instead of giving these two extreme emotions, it's better to just educate the child that this person is different.
Yeah.
The
And
God makes him
normal.
different. Yeah, just a normal child. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I know that there are different kinds of disability, I would not write use the word disability, but there are, I would say, probably there are different kinds of problems. People are have different kinds of issues with mental health, physical, or whatever. So it's better to educate the children at a young age that people are born differently, and it is not good to talk about a person in public. So that's when the children become empathetic. Yeah, so like for example, in my school, there is the differently abled school for children. Okay, and few of my students, they know, they are aware that okay, that there are children with Down syndrome, autism, or whatever other issues, and they know, they understand that okay, there are children like that. We cannot make fun of them because they are born that way. So if those children are able to understand that way, then I'm sure the people out in the society also should be able to learn to know how to respond or react when they see some different people. Like,
Yes.
see, for example, I am short, so they call me Potti. But if somebody is very tall, they call him Lambu.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Yes.
or if they're dark, they call him Kala.
Hmm.
Yeah, or if so I've heard like Kala Kawa or something like that. Okay,
Hmm.
and so different things are there. So that's when people should know. People should know that it is not right to talk. So it all starts with family's upbringing.
Yes. True.
Yeah, and then slowly it becomes into the school.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So, uh, as you have been sharing, God had a very important role to play in your life.
So,
So, how would you have coped if it was not for Christ, or if you had not come to know Christ? How would you have coped with the situation?
honestly, I would not be alive. I would
That
not
is
be talking.
a very chilling statement.
Yeah, so I mean, even though I'm telling this with a smile, but honestly, I would not be alive. I would not be able to talk to you about my journey, because it was at the age of 15. Like I said, at the age of 15, I just had a small issue at home, and the issue was I was not able to find a dress for me according to my likings, according to my style, and it was for my cousin's wedding. So I got so like angry or mad at myself, and I was like, this is not happening. I cannot continue anymore. Even though I had accepted Christ as my personal savior, I still did not have that trust. I could not fully trust in him. And I saw what happened. I just went to the washroom. There was one blade somehow that day, and I tried cutting my little finger. So that time I tried to, uh, what to say, I try to encourage myself or think that okay, it's not suicide, it's just simply cutting. I'm not doing anything serious, it's just self harm.
Hmm.
And but coincidentally, when I was trying to even cut my finger, I could not go further. Something was
Hmm.
like stopping me to go further. So till the age of 15, I've had enough number of suicidal thoughts. And I mean, there were nights when I would pray, like, God, I do not want to see the next day. Okay. And there were days when, I would think, okay, what if like, I meet with an accident and lose my life like that? Or
Hmm.
I would, it was something like not of me doing anything, me taking any step, but something happening outside my control so that, my life is lost that way. So
Hmm.
that was my life without Christ. I mean, even though I had Christ in me, but that was my life without believing and trusting God completely in His promises. So when God spoke to me clearly that, God is not looking at my physical appearance, but at my heart, that is when I became strong and courageous. And that is when I realized that if anybody has to tell anything about myself, about my stature, about my color, about I don't know what else, whatever things they should tell about myself. I knew that they are not making fun of me, but they're making fun of my creator. And there's a verse in the Bible which says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So
Yes.
it is not right for me to, get back at them, take revenge and say, how dare you talk about me like this? What right do you have to talk about me like this? So it's not my job to do that. God will deal with them later. So I
Mm.
do not have to take the situation in my hands, but I have to take the situation to God's hand,
Yes.
and surrender the situation. So that is how my life is now. And like 15 years later, God has brought me thus far, and it's only God's grace, God's love. I mean, if I have to talk about the attributes of God, it would go on and on. God's faithfulness, God's
Yes.
strength that has brought me. Of course, my family support, their love and their praise, and yeah. So that I would say, that I could cannot imagine my life without Christ. There were times when I tried to have this self determination or self motivation, or whatever, trying to take it in my own stride. Okay, I will do it by myself. But very next moment something would happen, and I would just become as weak as possible in my thoughts, or
Mm.
in my emotions. And that's when I knew that I cannot depend on myself. I need to depend on the person who has created me. And
Yes.
that is how my life is now with Christ.
Yeah. Of late, after Sushant Singh Rajput's
Oh yes.
suicide,
Mm-hmm.
many people are talking about suicide, and that is a good thing. And I was thinking how biblical characters coped up with this situation. And I often wonder, it is only by the grace of God, because I don't believe in prosperity preaching, and nowhere in the Bible we see any giant of faith going through a completely good situation in their life. And it is only by the help of God or their relationship with God that sustained them.
Yes,
And
yes.
as you also said, it is God that has been leading us thus far. And youngsters also have to uh, cling on to God no matter what the situation is. And that is the need of the hour.
Yeah.
There are, uh, uh, yeah, continue.
Sorry, I would just like to add, like by saying that now I am okay and free, or anything like that, because Christ is with me. That doesn't mean that I don't have problems. I still
Yes,
have my own issues, and there are people still in the society who have to keep talking about me, or close friends. There are same. It's not, there's nothing changed, but
true.
the approach is different now.
Mm.
Right before knowing Christ, I used to like get angry, feel sad, feel upset, but now I don't have those kind of emotions. I know that God is with me, and
Yes.
He will give me the strength to face those troubles.
Mm.
Like there were times when people come and talk to me and ask me nicely, can I know why are you different, or can I know what is the issue of your height, or is there any problem. And when people come and ask me that, I actually feel good. I mean,
Mm.
I feel happy that they don't want to make fun of me, but they actually want to know what is the reason, so that probably they can tell their friends, okay, I think it's not good for you to make fun of that friend of mine because she has this problem. And
Mm.
I have seen some of my friends doing that. So
Yeah.
so if I have to say, like I said, I still have all those issues. And again, it should not be like, okay, because I met Christ everything is fine.
Yes.
Like I shared in my video the other day, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Even.
So there are still storms, there are still areas where I'll have to really face them. But God is giving me the strength to overcome them, and to look at His face and
Yes.
see how good He is, and to know that He's my Father, and He takes
Yeah.
care of me. Yeah.
True. We've spoken about your journey. So, what do you suggest, or what message do you give to youngsters who often face or go through the same situation that you go through? Or sometimes families also, as you earlier shared,
Yeah, yeah.
families also don't support them. It is often, when it comes to girls, it is often family that is the major culprit, main culprit.
Yeah,
in demoralizing such people. So
correct.
what is the message or what advice do you give to such people?
So, firstly, I would like to tell everyone is that they should know that here they are created in God's image.
Yes.
Okay, so even twins are not same.
Hmm.
Everyone are different. So if they first realize that they're different, then I think that they would be able to be strong in certain way. Like there are these verses in the Bible. First, which my favorite was all time is Psalm 139 verse 14, which says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So yes, people will have round nose, crooked nose, sharp nose, whatever kind of nose, or people will have different colors. But that's the beauty,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of being different. That's that's how you look at yourself. That I am not like the others.
Hmm.
So when you realize that, when you're able to know that God has made you different, you are able to develop a positive self-image.
Yeah.
And the self-image should not come just because people keep complimenting you by saying, "Hey, you're so beautiful, you're so handsome, you have a very clear face." It's not about what people tell you; it's about what you think of yourself.
Yes.
So that would be the second one. And also for those who have undergone body shaming, it would be good if they seek support from people who have already overcome that. So
Hmm.
they will know that they will learn something, or from their experiences, that what they should do
Hmm.
when they face any situation in the coming days.
Oh.
We cannot change people's minds.
Yes.
That's never going to happen. And
Hmm.
people will keep talking, people will keep laughing, staring, and whatnot.
Hmm.
Sometimes even people came to check how tall or short I am, or people would simply keep tapping on my shoulder, or they like, I saw children especially, and they keep tapping on my shoulder, coming and saying, and then they make faces and they go to
Hmm.
test my patience level.
Yeah.
So people are not going to change. Okay, the only thing is you need to learn to seek support from those who have overcome body shaming, so that you can find encouragement and strength. And
Hmm.
probably the last one would be to talk to people who have faced similar issues. Now,
Hmm.
for example, I have faced issues of people talking about my height. Now, somebody might somebody might have issue of people talking about their weight. So maybe it may not be the same issues, or or maybe if I have to give another picture about men, people might say, okay, you have a bald head.
Hmm.
Okay, or people might say, okay, you don't you're not so tall enough for that girl, or you are not you're not so handsome, why don't you use fair and handsome, and for ladies, why don't you use fair and lovely? So people will have different kinds of issues. So make sure that whenever you have facing any issues, to talk to a similar person who has had the similar issues, so that's when you will be able to relate to that person. So that
Yes.
will give you the strength to overcome body shaming. Like,
Hmm.
if I have to say, to be honest, I am grateful to God that I did not have to um, go through that serious body shaming issue, where people would talk so much about me that I would have to go through depression, or you know just be too negative about myself. While body shaming is just generally somebody criticizing or insulting a person about their color, stature, or physical appearance. I see that body shaming is actually much more to do with that. But
Hmm.
for whatever experiences I have undergone, I would first say that like, seek support and learn to be strong, and learn to make sure that the comments do not affect you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how important it is to raise your voice. I mean, the victims, how
Mm.
important it is to raise their voice.
Okay, so this is a tricky one. So now see, so society nowadays, they don't like if somebody talks anything back to them.
Hmm.
So there are people who have all the right to comment about others, but if the latter person wants to talk to and reply and saying that,
Yeah.
hey, why don't you don't do this? Why don't you stop doing this? That's when they get offended. So
Yes.
this is the wrong attitude, I feel. Like,
Hmm.
like I mentioned much earlier, uh, when somebody would come and tell me something, and then I go and tell, I don't, why don't you stop doing that? They'll be like, no, I was just joking.
Yeah.
Why did you take it seriously? So people should know that even these subtle comments will actually hurt a person. So
Hmm.
so even if you are strong, or even if you try to say that, okay, it's not bothering me, let me talk in a very nice tone, it's more important for the other person, that is, if I would say offender, the offender, to make sure and understand that if in case he was in the same shoe of the victim, you know whether he would be able to uh, handle all these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
So it's like for example, we know cases where there have been people who have become so handsome or so beautiful, but suddenly something happens for which they either become paralyzed,
Hmm.
or their faces get disfigured, and main thing of face disfiguration is acid attack.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or because of any surgery they put on weight, or on the other side they become skinny. So people's body structure and body appearance is not going to be the same.
Yes.
That should they should know that. Okay, you
Hmm.
can groom yourself, you can do whatever you want, but don't do it to an extent to which you have to please others,
Yeah.
so that people think that, okay, now Joanna is fine. Okay, she has grown tall, she has become fair, and she's has that size zero body. Okay, so it
Hmm.
should not be to do with the intention of pleasing others, or making others appreciate or
Hmm.
accept you by that look. It should be for what you are happy with.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I would tell that don't let those comments uh, for affect you, and make sure that even when you're talking to them, uh, to not tell it in, because you did this, I will do this. Now you see,
Hmm.
you spoke to me about my height and my color like this. Now, next time when something happened, then you see. It's not in the revenge. Tell them, I did feel bad about it. I would be happy if you don't talk about my color or my stature. Okay, because that is how I am. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, and if you can accept me like that, I'll be grateful. Like we have
Hmm.
in our own in our workplace environment, there are different people. Initially when you look at that person, you'll be like, oh, that person is little fat, or the person is quite dark. Okay, but when you look more than that, when you look at that nature of the person, when you look at the attitude, those physical features do not bother you.
Yes.
You learn to love that person as they are. You learn to
Yes.
accept the person as they are. So same way, the victim should go and tell the offender that you might look at me like this, but probably if you look at a person's attitude and character, then you will see that physical appearance do not actually have much value. It's all
Hmm.
about how you treat others.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel uh, youngsters have to speak up, and they actually have to choose a more mature way, like not getting back at others on the same tone or with hatred,
Yes,
but
yes.
then
With
try
love,
to,
with love.
yeah, with love, and we have to try to understand the other person. It was great speaking to you, Chechi.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
I hope and pray that you will continue to inspire and lead many people in a better path and towards Christ in the
Amen.
days ahead as well.
Amen.
Thank you, Echi.
Thank you, Blessing, once
Yeah.
again.